There are now discussions amongst Congress that they want to push for a $5,000 child tax credit. This is huge, but there's an interesting reason why. According to multiple reports, according to some statements from lawmakers, they believe that the $2,500 that is now being proposed by the Trump administration, and it's in the House One Big Beautiful Bill, that $2,500 might not be enough. So I want to break down what they're saying, what is currently happening, and why multiple lawmakers have been pushing for this for quite some time, even the vice president himself. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain where this is coming from, how likely this is, and what we could see in the future. So if you have children and you're wondering, will I get $2,500 per year or will it be $5,000 per year? Well, I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, so make sure you stick around and watch this entire video. But first, before I do, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So yes, this is 100% true. This is not clickbait. This is not fake news. Multiple lawmakers have been very vocal over the past several months, and they're pushing for a $5,000 child tax credit. But I want to show you something. This is an article from CNBC just this morning. It says child tax credit debate could get really interesting as Senate weighs Trump's mega bill, according to experts. Now, I want to read this to you. Look at this right here. It says, if enacted as drafted, the House-approved bill would make permanent the maximum $2,000 credit passed via Trump's 2017 tax cuts, which could otherwise revert to $1,000 after 2025. Okay, here's where things are going to change. The highest credit, which would actually be in effect from 2025 to 2028, so only when President Trump's in office, would actually rise to $2,500. Okay. Then it would revert back to $2,000 and be indexed with inflation. Many people are saying that for that $1,000 child tax credit that we received for so many years, why couldn't we go back and index that to inflation? And if we did, it's going to be higher than $2,000. Well, here's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. It says right here, the proposed higher child tax credit comes as the U.S. fertility rate hovers near historic lows, which has been a concern for lawmakers, including the Trump administration. People just aren't having children like they once were. Okay, it's just not happening. And some say they don't want children. They just don't want that responsibility. They never had desire to have children. Others say that they would like to have children, but they're concerned that their financial well-being isn't going to be enough, and they will struggle to raise children the way that they want to. Now, I want to show you this. It says right here, some research suggests financial incentives, like a bigger child tax credit, could boost U.S. fertility, but other experts say it won't solve the long-term issue. This is where Republicans are wanting to step in. It says the Republican child tax credit support, and again, this is not just Republicans, Democrats want this as well. It says while Democrats have long pushed for a child tax credit expansion, there has also been a more recent bipartisan push for changes. Vice President J.D. Vance, who formerly served as the Senator of Ohio, floated a higher child tax credit during his campaign. He says, I'd love to see a child tax credit that's $5,000 per child, but you, of course, have to work with Congress to see how possible and viable that is. Even Senator Josh Hawley, it says in January he called on the Senate floor for a $5,000 child tax credit. His proposal would apply the credit to payroll taxes and provide advance payments throughout the year. This right here is key. Advance payments throughout the year. Because according to the researcher, it says there's some recognition here that they need to do a little more. that $2,500 per year may not be enough. And here's the other thing. Some are wanting this to be a advance payment, meaning it comes as a monthly check or a quarterly check. Now, here's the interesting thing. The current the Trump administration wants to eliminate paper checks because they're too costly, because there's just everything behind it, right? So they want to eliminate that. That's going to happen on September 30th. We'll see no more paper checks. It doesn't matter if you're trying to get a tax refund or you're trying to get your Social Security check. No more paper checks. Here's where things could get interesting. One of the things that the Trump administration pushed in the first term was they wanted more people to open up bank accounts, because this way they could send out a stimulus check, they could send out the tax refund, it could go a little bit quicker. They can reduce the cost from the federal government standpoint, and you would get your money. Well, a lot of people went and did that. Now, here's the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention. Because what they're discussing right now is increasing the child tax credit from $2,500 up to $5,000. According to a friend of mine who works for, or is an aide to a U.S. senator, he was saying that $5,000 is likely out of the question if it becomes a monthly or a quarterly check. Now, here's the thing. According to reports from multiple people, they've discussed quarterly checks. Okay, send one out in January, 1st of January. Okay, quarter one. Send it out first week or 2 weeks, quarter two, quarter three. Send it out. The final one. Okay, so again, it would be October, November, December. To send it out in October. According to some of these reports, and these have happened for the past several years, they say maybe not send it out in October because a lot of that money could just go towards shopping in Q4. It would be great for the economy, but does it help children? Maybe, maybe not. So some say, let's do 3 payments quarterly, so first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and then after that, the fourth quarter payment would actually come out, and that would be part of the tax return to get people to actually file their taxes. Now, according to the friend of mine, he's saying that again, $5,000 is likely out of the question if they do these quarterly or monthly payments. Monthly payments might be too much. So he's saying it would likely be around $3,500, and it could be a quarterly payment. Now, I want to show you one other thing that they're discussing as well. It says credit refundability could change. It says often tax credits don't benefit the lowest earners unless they are refundable, meaning filers can still claim without taxes owed. Non-refundable credits can lock out those consumers because they often don't have tax liability, meaning a non-refundable tax credit would only go to you if you have a tax liability, meaning you owe some money. Okay? If you don't owe any money, and this is not a refundable tax credit, then you wouldn't get a thing. That's part of the problem. So they say this could change. It says House lawmakers in January 2024 passed a bipartisan child tax credit expansion, which would have improved access and retroactively boosted the refundable portion. It says while the bill failed in the Senate in August, Republicans said they would revisit the measure. However, the child tax credit in the House, the latest House-approved bill, is less generous than the provision passed in 2024. And we kind of knew that was going to happen. So, here's where we're at. Are we going to see a $5,000 child tax credit? It could happen. It honestly could happen. But, and this is the big thing, the $5,000 child tax credit would likely only go to those that have a tax liability. It would be a non-refundable credit. So again, it's going to leave out certain portions of the economy, certain portions of many U.S. citizens. But here's the other thing: could there be a portion of that $5,000 that is refundable? According to this, multiple sources. It's a possibility. According to a friend of mine who works for a U.S. senator, or is an aide to U.S. senator, he says this is more than a possibility. It's a high probability that they will take a portion of that, the $5,000, or let's say $3,500. They would take a portion of that, potentially $2,000. That would be refundable, and the other amount in excess of that could be non-refundable. So again, very interesting what they're discussing right now. A lot of changes, but the reason why they're discussing these changes is because many lawmakers say that the bill that the House passed just doesn't do enough. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.